I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this, I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now Jackson on first down. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Don't get nervous. 45 the mark. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
From the gun, Jackson. This is the tight end fan. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Go set. Check. 59. Red 80.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, he got great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
Darnold on first down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Darnold, he gets this one to Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos have taken the lead. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
52's the mic right here, over there.
Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Joker.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Jackson. And And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Back deep, Deontay Harris. Fielded at the 33. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over for... First and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Darnold. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Darnold from the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Darnold. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. All day, baby, all day. What's that? 59, Mark. Check, 59. What's that?
The shotgun snap for Darnold. That is caught. Touchdown, Denver. D.D. Westbrook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
D.D. Westbrook. Touchdown, Broncos.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25.
Here we go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 32-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 54.
Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his tight end fan. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. They give him a gain of 37. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. He'll run it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 16, Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 22-yard touchdown grab. As his guys are back within a single score. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A pass there, complete to Westbrook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. first down, it's Darnold. And the catch made by Johnson. Johnson, oh, it's poked free. Football's out. And the Colts pick it up. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. They come out here in the eye. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Jackson now. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Jackson. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Noah Fant, his first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Faking the give, Darnold. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Left side here, that's the tight end, Fant. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On first and 10, it's Jackson. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
It's now second and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Watch time. Tight end right.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. This is the tight end Fant. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're... down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Under 10, 10.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Darnold completes it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Darnold. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This will be taken at the 10. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 32 on the play. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Man, there's a lot to think about when you're playing quarterback, isn't there? I mean, this is 3rd and long. So your chances of completing a pass for a first down are slim to begin with. And then when you put it into some traffic, you're really wreaking havoc with your options, aren't you? Maybe you just got to heave it into the, throw it up in the stands and make sure no one can catch it.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Come on, D. Shit. Red 80. Hey, foxtrot. Red 80. He's coming. We got double up.
Back to throw, Darnold. He finds his man Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
You got recon, 132 fighter. Tighten up.
Check it backer.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This is Johnson, he's got it. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Darnold now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. So now they operate back from their side of the field here. 2nd and long.
Mike 42, Mike, young lady. Alert 3, alert 3.
Hey, Charlie.
Darnold now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Banagoo picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off of play action, Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion. Put people...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. McManus's point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters. Because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A gain of 19 yards. First down, Indianapolis.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. To throw is Jackson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll square up and throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Watch the shit. 45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. It's going to be a run.
Now it's Jackson. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Kyle Juszczyk, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And all the way home for a Broncos score. D.D. Westbrook with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a give, right side. Hines. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go again. Here we go, Trump. Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Better bring it. Go, go. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Hush him. He's checking. Crash. Oh.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Steps away to it, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Throwing now is Jackson. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip
Now
is
here's
here.
Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Ben Banagou in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They are just brimming with it right now.
Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Kill. Turn.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
Come on.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And I tell you what, they were big favorites coming in, but they had to work for this one.
It certainly wasn't the walk in the park that you expected coming into this one. I have a suspicion that in their meetings next week, head coach going to talk to them a little bit about focus, don't you think?
Yeah, because down the stretch, there was some nail-biting going on. And you're right. I think not only the fans, but those folks inside that locker room, they expected a comfortable victory.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that just tells you about the NFL. Any given game, you never know how it's going to turn out. You'd better be ready to play.
So for the Colts, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up the pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change.